especially if you kind of like jump right into things, just be like, I'm having so much fun with this person. I'm just going to be present and enjoy my time. And if it doesn't work out, I will be fine.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
I've gotten through breakups before. I will be fine.
Welcome back to
Welcome back to Gin Toxic.
Pickle ASMR.
That was weak.
All right, we're done eating our pickle.
Welcome back to
That was like a nice little way to start. Yeah, welcome back to Gin and Toxic.
Look, it's one of those days. We had to have a pickle.
Yeah, we had to have a pickle. We have some Ollie Pops with us too that we're drinking. Yeah, I took
So
Lily. Weird intro, weird intro
vibes.
day, weird
like,
vibe.
What?
I took Lily to her first ever trip to Pickle Guys this past weekend.
If you're in New York, if you're visiting, go to Pickle Guys.
Yep, guys, the land of the pickles.
Everything is pickled.
Yeah, everything. Like they even got pickled fruits and like, dude, I was looking at their website the other night at the pickled things that like I missed, and like they have like pickled apples.
They have everything. The pickles you got are like
the full sours.
Yeah, but they're like, you know, the dick-shaped ones. But like the ones I got are like sliced.
Oh yeah, you got sliced bread and butter.
Things. I'm a grown adult. That is how I describe things.
Those are called full sours. There's like
full
sours,
okay.
half sours, and then there's like spheres and stuff. But yeah, you got the sliced bread and butter pickles.
Yeah, and I literally the other night I was like hammered and I got home and I took it out of the fridge and I literally with my hand like scooped like 20 of them and just
That's exactly what I've been doing
that
every
was my
night.
dinner.
Yesterday I ate 4 of the full ones, and then I ate like at least it had to equate 1 full pickle of the bread and butter ones, like of the slices. And then this morning I put the pickled onions and pickled carrots on my avocado toast, and then I've been just like nibbling at the pineapple.
It's all so good.
Yeah, it's all so good. But anyways, enough about pickles. Shout out Pickle Guys. Toxic thing of the week, baby.
We went out this weekend. Christina's single.
Yeah.
Well, she was sober though.
Once again, single and sober, baby. Yeah, guys. So I think, did I say this in the last? No, I didn't find out in the last episode. I made a Instagram story post though. So if you guys follow us on Instagram, you probably already heard about this. But last week I had BV and it wasn't fun. And the medication for BV you can't drink on. So I had it's like sober,
really you can't drink on that shit.
Yeah,
because
like,
I got a beer one time on it and I projectile vomited.
Yeah, I had like a few sips of wine because I was filming. It's out now, but I filmed a video with Dan Churchill, the foodie guy of TikTok and Instagram. Yeah, where he like basically came to my apartment and cooked me a meal. We recorded, but we had a glass of wine in that, and it was literally just like a few sips of red wine, and like I was nauseous. Just so I'm not nauseous after.
I've never like been so sensitive to alcohol. Like they say that on some medications, and I wouldn't drink, but like I thought maybe it would give me like a stomach ache, but like I literally like project.
No, that shit makes you nauseous. Also, if you don't eat before you take it too, empty stomach, you get nauseous.
Of it too.
Yeah, what the fuck is up with that?
If you know, you know.
Yeah,
it's for the girls.
It's the name of the medicine is like a Menza something. It starts with an M. But it's like if you don't swallow it like right away when you get the water in your mouth, it is
foul.
Disgusting.
Foul.
Oh my God, I hate it. But yeah, so I had BB and I was on the medication and we went out this weekend and I couldn't drink. So I had a stone cold sober weekend.
But it wasn't like, I don't know, you're never the type to like do shots and get hammered anyway. So I was like, because
I don't know, I feel like I'm out of my shots era.
No, you're out of your shots era for sure. But I also was like, David said something to me like, do you think she's still gonna have fun? And I was like,
definitely.
You won't even be able to tell the difference if that bitch has a drink or two anyway. Like she's always like, so
it was kind of just like a weird night. Like had we been dancing, it would have been better too. It was just like an odd night. So anyways, one of my toxic things of the week. Well, I don't know if I have another. Actually,
it wasn't a dancey night. It was
it wasn't. But
I don't know. When I ran into our friend that was there, he was like, I kind of felt like a house party hangout. Everyone was just like sitting around.
So we went to Botanica, and then when we went in the back room of Botanica, it felt more like house.
No, it was nice. And also, I feel like whenever I go out with my boyfriend's friends, I never even fucking talk to them, or it's just so loud.
Yeah,
and like everyone just gets hammered and like is dancing. So it was nice to like have a conversation with people.
Yeah.
And like you and Ryan don't usually hang out with them. So it was nice that you guys actually got to like talk to people. So.
Exactly. Yeah. So my technical toxic thing of the week relates to this is the fact that I did get all dolled up. I already knew that we were going to be going out this weekend, but I was particularly excited because there's this one friend of work base who I just like have a little like thing for him. Like I don't know what it is. Like he just like
you guys have such a similar like sense of humor and energy.
So we met one time. It's always the man that I meet one time. For me specifically, it's like one time and I'm in love. But we met one time like a long time ago.
They both were vibing though.
Yeah, and we were fucking vibing.
He asks me about her every time I see him.
Yeah, so. And I haven't seen him since. And so Lily's like, he's coming out tonight. So I got so dressed up. Well, not dressed up, but I did my makeup and I put on like a little cool girl outfit. I look cute and I was like, I look like I'm ready to attract the Bushwick boy. Yeah. And then the toxic thing is that I dressed for the male gaze and then we get there and he ended up not coming.
Yeah, it was fucking tragic.
Yeah. I was like, wow, I was napping and then I got up and went. I probably would have just thrown on mascara and gone if you guys were like, nah, he's not gonna be there. I would have been like, whatever.
Yeah, Ryan literally had like no makeup on. Like
I know, except Ryan was bitching the entire night saying how ugly she looked.
And then when I tell you, every single man in the bar, I'm not exaggerating, was like staring at her, trying to get her number.
The definition of the New York 10, makeup or not.
Like, we're scared of her.
So she's like, oh my God, I look so ugly right now. And we're like, what?
My line with her is like, she could be complaining about like anything. Like, it's kind of, maybe it's fucked up that I do this. But I'll look at her and be like, I can't, I'm trying to feel bad for you, but I can't. I can't feel bad for you.
I just can't. You're
too
much
hot.
of a 10.
Yeah, like I have no sympathy for you, Megan Fox. Like, what the fuck?
No, actually though. But what's your toxic thing of the week?
Wait, but I was going to say that me and the guy that Christina has a crush on behind her back, we call her Beauty Cheeks instead of Beauty Chickie, as in like beauty, I'm almost at those cheeks.
Yeah, like I want to fucking.
I want them beauty cheeks.
I want those cheeks.
Yeah, it's really funny. Yeah. David will be like, you won't get them beauty cheeks. He's like, we met one time. Like,
yeah.
Hello.
Well, he had the opportunity to get the fucking beauty cheeks.
Also, oh yeah, my toxic confession was, well, it was just funny because I take Christina and Ryan out to like meet work-based friends and they have like met them like one time, but not really. And like two of them, me and Work Babe have been dating for like over a year now, like on and off a little bit, but like I've been hanging out with his friends for like a year and a half at this point. And I kind of just started becoming like better friends with some of them. Like maybe it just was like I didn't go out with them that often and didn't really like bond. Like I would just say hi and that would be it. But like lately I've actually become good friends with them and it's been great. But Saturday night was Ryan's first time ever meeting them. And like within 30 minutes, they were exchanging Instagrams and becoming best friends. And I was like, fuck you guys. I've been dating him for a year and a half and everyone. But then again, Ryan just like puts herself like she just sat down with everyone, was like, what are we talking about? Yeah. I'm Ryan, nice to meet you. Like she's very
so funny.
There's we joke because like it's a good balance because I'm like I can be kind of shy sometimes, like I'm psycho, but like sometimes I can be shy with new people and Ryan is like the opposite. She like likes making people uncomfortable.
Oh yeah.
She's like, do you want to be best friends?
I mean, I always say it's only uncomfortable. The situation is only uncomfortable if you make it uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Or it's only awkward if you make it awkward.
Or like I won't feel like awkward necessarily around new people, but I'm never like fully myself. Like I can just kind of be a little hesitant to like really break the ice and like be silly and whatever. But like Ryan and you are both like so good at just like doing that. That's why when you guys are around, like I was way more myself Saturday night and like was being, and I talk to those people more than I ever talk to them just because I get like shy. I don't know why, but I mean, you know why? Because they're probably not like the typical people I would like hang out with. Yeah. So I'm not.
Oh no, I was a little intimidated, although I shouldn't be because they were so nice.
They were also so nice. Like, yeah, it's just not our normal.
That's
like,
not
crowd.
like my group. That makes sense.
I know, and we're like not cool. We're like weird. So I'm scared.
I just like I mean, you know me. Like I'm like not the Bushwick girly in the slightest. So like I feel like we talk about Bushwick in every episode, and if people don't live in New York, they're probably like,
what are you talking? Bushwick is in Brooklyn. It's a neighborhood.
Yes, it's a neighborhood in Brooklyn for like young 20s.
Avant-garde hipsters. Yeah, like think like cool.
Sticker tattoos.
I only thrift everything
hair.
I wear.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And I live there.
And Lily lives there.
I love it, but like I still feel like I'm not like totally that, but I do love it. But like, yeah, the Bushwick crowd is definitely something.
They're nice. I'm a little.
No, they're great. No, a little intimidated. It's
it depends. Some of them are
fucking too cool for school.
Exactly.
And then some of them are
That's
cool.
the same thing though with the East Village. Like, I feel like people are the same in the East Village.
Yeah, or they're like super friendly. It's like, I don't know, New York is weird like that. People are either like so down to mingle and like have new friends, or they're like, we're too cool, we have our clique over here, like whatever. It's weird, but most of the time people are cool.
I feel like our toxic thing of the week this week kind of sucked, but it's fine. I'm like thinking, what have I done that's toxic? But like I only just announced last week that I got out of a relationship. I haven't like done.
She will.
I haven't gotten to that point yet.
She will.
I've been just like, I will. But
been chilling.
I just been chilling
Regrouping.
and I've been just trying to like get back to me.
Saging.
Yeah, no, actually. You know what's funny is I actually made a joke to Paige and Kate. I have Paige and Kate coming over tonight for wine night. I made a joke to them earlier and I was like, oh my God, I haven't saged the apartment since he left. And they were like, we're doing it tonight. And I was like, God. Period. So
that's funny.
That's that. But
it has to be done.
No, I haven't really done anything. I was explaining this to Lily earlier. I've just been like trying to like, oh my God, sounds so fucking corny, but like get back to me.
No,
I feel like I
not
lost.
Corny.
Yeah, the way I explained it to Paige is I was like, I feel like I lost so much of myself in that relationship that now
your
I'm
whole
like
routine changed.
Yeah, I'm like. It's like I'm not like learning to like live alone. It's not that I'm learning to live alone again. It's that I'm learning to like enjoy doing things.
You have to get used to being like, it's not like you went through a normal breakup because he was living here for a few months.
Yeah.
Like I was literally talking about this with Ryan this morning because I was saying how you were like a little lonely last night and wanted to hang out. And I was like, that's so beyond normal for a breakup, but especially a breakup where you lived with the person. It doesn't matter who they were.
Too, obviously,
It doesn't matter how done you are with the relationship and how happy you are that it's over. It's like a natural human thing to be like, wait, I just went from always having someone next to me to like being in
and it's like it hits me 1,000 times more at nighttime because obviously it's like during the day, like he worked like long hours during the day and everything, but like at nighttime it was like I would always still look forward to like, you know, having, you know, this person come over, we chill on the couch or we like get in bed and snuggle up and watch shows. And so sometimes it's just like the first few days I was like fine because I was like yay, but like now it's like settling in and I'm just like, oh, it just feels so weird. Also, I'm such like, I mean, we've talked about this in the show before, I'm such a lover girl and I'm such like a cuddle bug and stuff, so I'm just like, oh, I did buy this new stuffed sloth though at the Asian market. And he's my BFF. Yeah, no, because I've been cuddling him every single night. It's been helping me sleep.
I feel like that's probably a really common thing that people go through. I mean, I did in January. I get it. Like at nighttime, just like it hits you like a fucking bus. But
do we do an episode on how to get over it? Well, today's episode is going to be what we were supposed to talk about last week. So you guys know that last week we had like a whole topic planned and then we ended up not doing it because the catch-ups in the episode were so long. But the episode for today that was supposed to be last week, whatever, is how to break up. Like when you already decide you need to break up with somebody, how to do it.
Yeah.
We've done breakup episodes before. Did we do how to like get over a breakup?
I want to say yes, but like I feel like we could do a continuation of it.
I know. I thought that we did also. I feel like we did in season 1. I don't know. Looking, rejection, red flags, karma, cheaters. Why is everybody so horny? Oh, let's talk breakups. Oh yeah, we did. We did an entire. It was like one of our very first episodes.
Yeah, I'm not
yeah.
surprised.
It's called "Let's Talk Breakups." If you guys ever want to look it up, and it's just like it talks about everything.
I feel like if you get out of a relationship and you're like adjusting to being alone, I feel like picking up a few hobbies that you've been like meaning to do is like a really, really healthy thing. Like,
well, yeah, of course, and that's what I've been. That's what I'm struggling with right now.
Yeah,
is I'm at this weird like.
What do I like to do when I'm alone? I forgot. Yeah, you like literally forget.
Last night I ended up like my dip powder nails were like absolutely disgusting. So last night I ended up like removing them. And then tonight I was like maybe going to actually paint my nails. And I was like, I'm just like trying things.
Yeah.
One thing that I ended up realizing almost immediately after the breakup was that I got really immersed in reading again.
Yeah, reading is a great thing to do after a breakup.
Exactly. So I started reading again, but like even just like simple things, obviously, like you were saying before, like before we started recording, like you play your guitar and like,
that's my nighttime
that sort of
activity. Because sometimes even like if my boyfriend's like out like doing something or whatever, and I'm like just spending the night alone in my apartment, it's so easy to get bored or to be like, oh, like I wish like he hung out with me instead. But like, no, find your things that you like to do. And like mine is always like music stuff or whatever. Or like, I don't know, making
what
content.
I was looking at last night, although I think I told you, did I tell you how when I was home I offered to buy my brother's Nintendo Switch off of him?
Oh yeah, no, literally Switch is a great thing to do.
I was literally thinking, because I have the Switch Lite, so I can't connect it to the TV, but last night I was looking into buying, because we have the Nintendo store here. I was like, oh my God, I was in Manhattan today. I should have went there and just got it.
Yeah, no, you have the perfect living room for it because the TV's not too far.
That's the thing. I have the perfect living room for it, and I could play that shit alone. Yeah. And like, I used to, when I was going through my last two breakups, not this one, but the one during COVID with boy band.
I recall.
And with fucking NYU BD. Both times I would play Animal Crossing on my Nintendo Switch, because like Animal Crossing is one of those games that has like no, like there's no goal in Animal Crossing,
it's just
which
to, like,
is good.
Build the little village.
Yeah, it's so casual, and like it just eases my anxiety so much that I would just like run around doing like, you know, building this and doing that and whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, I want to play Animal Crossing.
I know. I actually was thinking yesterday I want to pick up Animal Crossing.
I know. Again. And you know what I want to play again, which would be so nice to have the Switch for? Mario Kart.
Yeah, I play Mario Kart like twice a week at least.
You know what we need?
What?
A fucking Dave and Buster's day, dude. I feel like that would cure
right
me.
now in life. This is where we're at right now.
Yeah, no, but I'm just like, I'm very just trying to do things for me again. And then also mentally, I've just been at this huge crossroads in life in general that I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Not even career-wise, just in general, like so basically, I don't know if I talked about this in the last episode, whatever, but
I know what this is.
Well, no, basically I'm in between right now. It's like fucking like, I hate saying this because it's like, I don't want it to come across as like, oh, I have so many issues in life.
No, it's okay, guys.
But
you can make fun of her because I make fun of her.
No, make fun of me all you want.
Versus my problems, different. But they're iconic.
Basically, I'm in between right now buying a summer home in Italy. I'm in between buying a summer home in Italy with Paige and Airbnb-ing and like all this stuff, or getting a dog. Those are my two quote. I don't want to call them issues.
It's a hard life she lives, you guys. We have to choose between an Italian summer home or getting a French bulldog. Like, what the fuck?
But it's just because they're two very significant things, and both of them are going to take up a lot of my time. And it's like, if I get the home now, I will not be able to get the dog for like at least another year and a half or so, because I'll be building out the home like throughout the winter and doing like all that stuff. But, you know, if I get the dog, then I definitely can't. The dog will bring me a lot of happiness here, but I definitely won't be able to do any traveling.
Long-term.
Well, I won't be able to do traveling at least. Well, not that I can't travel, but like I won't be able to do, like you said, long-term travel for like at least like a year or 9 months. Yeah. You know, because like I'm not going to leave it as like a puppy. Yeah. You know, like I'm still going to travel when I get the dog because it'd be unrealistic for me not to.
And
but
I will
like,
stay. It's not like you have like a roommate. Like I can literally like sleep here and be with the dog.
Also, my parents are an hour and 15 out of Long Island. They have a French bulldog, like, you know, all that. But, you know, it is obviously, a dog is a commitment. It's a pretty long commitment. It's like a 15-year commitment.
Yeah.
So, you know, but also, so is owning a fucking house in Italy. Like, especially if we're going into the business of Airbnb, it's not easy.
No, like you have to, there's a lot that goes into that, bro.
Yeah, so there's just like a lot on my mind of what I want to do next. And I'm not saying that it's things that are like, oh my God, I have such issues. But it's both of them are a lot of fucking money, and both of them are a lot of responsibility. And it's like, what do I want to do first? Because I feel like the dog would add so much happiness into my life right now, and I feel like I could really use it right now.
I'm voting for the dog, and obviously, like I would love for you to get the house in Italy, because then if we vacationed, we would always have somewhere to stay. It would be cheaper for me, right? But like, I don't know.
I'm also like,
if we were like maybe even like in our later 20s, I would be like, no, do that. But
that's the thing though too, is I'm like, you know, I keep trying to remind myself that I'm only 24. I just turned 24. I'm like, do I need to invest in a house in Italy right now? But also people tell you invest while you're young and everything. But I'm like, I pushed it off for 1 year and then did it next fall, I think I would survive. Like, I think it'll be fine. Like, you know, to do the investment at 25. I don't know. Because this is also something I gotta talk to Paige a lot about too, which I will have talked to her about it when this episode goes up anyways. Because she would be doing it with me. Right. I'm leaning towards the dog and saving the Italian home for next year, because also I want to be able, I'm going to be totally transparent with you guys. This year was not my greatest money-making year. And so, because we've been just like focused on the podcast and, we made so many jokes prior to the show about this. We were like, this episode's sponsored by nobody.
Somebody pay us.
Like, you know, we don't make anything really off of doing this yet. And yeah, it just hasn't been my most lucrative year that I've had in social media. So I'm like, I feel like I would rather continue building myself over the next year, and the next year when I do have more money to invest in the home, do it then.
Even though the dog is expensive, the house would be way more expensive.
Yeah. Oh, of course the dog is going to be a few $1,000s, like, you know, with like having to do, you know, get the food and everything that it needs. Like the beginning, it's going to run, you know, it's going to run me of my money a little bit.
100%. But not as much.
It's not, you know, fucking $40,000 down on a home, like sort of thing. Yeah. So yeah, but I don't know. Okay, so G&T.
Oh yeah.
We didn't actually.
I couldn't find what is going on. Like,
well, yeah, we didn't actually plan for G&T, but the one thing that I didn't get to write anything down for it, but the first thing that comes to mind is Kourtney Kardashian announcing that she's pregnant to Travis Barker at the Blink-182 concert with this gigantic sign that said, "Travis, I'm pregnant." I thought that was really fucking cute.
Yeah, it was cute.
You know what?
I'm happy for them.
Yeah, I'm very happy for them because I, guilty as charged, have been watching the Kardashians on the new Hulu season 3.
I haven't watched it.
I think there's more episodes coming out. I just finished the most recent episode yesterday. But I've been watching it since season 1, not keeping up with the Kardashians, just the Kardashians, you know, the new one on Hulu. And Kourtney has been on this pregnancy journey, and that woman has been doing everything under the fucking sun to try
she's
and get
old.
pregnant
like,
again and have a baby.
40
I don't know.
Something. She's 40 something.
Yeah.
She already has 4 kids.
Yeah, she's just, I don't know. She's been doing everything in her power. So I'm like, finally, she got pregnant. She's having the kid, so I'm happy for her. But yeah, if you guys didn't see, basically, she announced it to her husband, Travis Barker.
I remember she said
concert.
she was stopping IVF. So I wonder if she got pregnant naturally. That would be like a fucking miracle. I'm sure they'll share it.
Well, she talked about in season 3 how she finished up IVF.
And it didn't work, though.
Yeah, I mean, I just finished the most recent episode, and so far in that recent episode, they didn't say anything about her actually getting pregnant. So sad that like women will spend like tens of thousands of dollars on that, and then if it doesn't work, like it's like, oh, bummer. Sad. Like you still have to spend all that money. Like it sucks. Yeah, no, I was just about to say another wonderful part of being a woman. I made if you guys saw, I made my first TikTok in 6 months on my personal account the other day. And it was a joke about like, it was that audio that's like, oh, how I love being a woman. And it was me talking about how I got BV and I had a little sip of red wine and made my tummy hurt.
I shit on you for that. And your comeback was fair. But me and David were like, you have how many TikTok followers?
Wait, shit on me for what? For not posting
on TikTok. How many followers do you have on TikTok?
Like 119?
Yeah, we were like, imagine having that many TikTok followers and just not using. And she was like, that's what happens when you are burned out and you've made content since you were 12. And I was like, fair.
Like, what could I fucking say?
I'm hacking your account and I'm changing it to Lily Stewart. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's so real. Like, you know, the burnout shit is just, I've experienced it so many times. I've experienced it more than I ever have in my 20s. And that's what comes with being a fucking child YouTube star, I suppose.
Sometimes you look at like making content and like taking pictures and like TikToks as like work because it was your income. But I think if you started making TikToks of like you cooking or like something that like you wouldn't normally do that feels, I don't know, like more fun and not like work, it would be cute.
I don't know, but also at the same time, my idea of like having like fun or like de-stressing and stuff is not being shooting. MIA on social media. Like I'm gonna be honest, like I mean I still love like whenever like I go on Instagram stories and I post like funny things and stuff, like I do love it, but yeah, I definitely view it as work because it's how I make my money. And I don't know, what I see it as is not even just that I view it as work, just that my anxiety has gotten so much worse as I've gotten older. My perfectionism has gotten so much worse as I've gotten older. And it started to like really come to fruition in 2020, like the beginning of 2020. And then it just kind of never stops. And then I started life coaching and my life coach has helped me like a bunch with it, but it still comes back in waves.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I need, like, it will go on for months before I finally find like the one thing that will break it. Yeah. And right now I'm like waiting for me to like break it. I'm like, I know I need to break that barrier, but I can't right now.
No, I know
like,
what you mean.
It's so difficult.
I definitely look at TikTok and Instagram. I'm like a little bit more like that with Instagram. Like I'm a little bit more of a perfectionist, but with TikTok, I love making like drunk TikToks with my friends.
Well, see, that's the thing. And that's exactly what you should be doing. And that's exactly the point of TikTok. TikTok is so casual. And that's why casual content goes viral.
Yeah.
But for me,
I just feel like
it's just because I've done it.
So
I know, but
me
like,
as a fan, I want more.
The thing is that I did post my most, not the TikTok I posted, like 2 days ago, but the one I posted before that, my other most recent TikTok, which was 6 months ago, was the viral Dave & Buster's TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a casual fucking video, and it did so good. But I don't know. It sounds ridiculous when like I put it out loud because like people listening or people like you are just like, oh my god, why wouldn't you like
I completely get it.
But it's like.
But I just feel like whenever you shoot, well, I guess not the Dave & Buster's one, but a lot of the time you put a lot of thought into it. But I feel like your casual content or just if you have a thought while you're walking on the sidewalk, like those would be your best videos.
Yeah, I know. Ugh, whatever. Well, I'm seeing Andrea tomorrow, so.
Not me like.
Here's another.
Pep talking her right now.
Conversation topic for the life coach. Great.
Lily needs me to post on TikTok more. Like, I don't know.
Lily said I'm slacking.
Yeah.
So, well, whatever. But yeah, anyway, so, Kourtney Kardashian's pregnant. Woo! What else is going on?
I just looked on, like, Twitter, like, what was trending and shit, and nothing was hitting.
You know what I just thought of that happened, like, yesterday, I think? Did you see that BB Rexa got hit?
Yeah,
on stage with a phone? She had to get like dude, the photos are really fucking bad.
I didn't see her face. I just saw her holding it and going off stage.
Oh my god, dude, let me see if I can find the photos. I saw them earlier.
Who throws their phone at a person like that? Like, what is wrong with people?
Dude, she got fucked up.
He threw it, like in the air too. It's not like he threw it like on the stage.
Like it cut her eye and she had to get stitches. Yeah, I mean that's her like. Yeah. So it's like really serious. So yeah, basically if you guys don't know what happened, BB Rexa was having a concert and some fan threw their phone like on stage. I don't know. I'm assuming that they didn't do it out of malice. I'm assuming they threw their phone so she would like record something. But oh my god, they threw it and they fucking hit like her
up though. Like they should have thrown it like a frisbee like onto so it landed on the stage and she could have picked it up. But like they threw it like up.
Yeah, exactly. And so it hit her fucking eye really badly. She like went down on the stage. Was like, oh my god. And she had to get fucking stitches.
She could have knocked out. She could have been like unconscious.
No, it was like really bad. I remember I watched the video and I was like, oh my god. And then I saw the photos. I think just this morning is when I saw those photos and I was like,
I didn't see them.
God
but that's
damn.
so bad.
Yeah, I know. Poor woman. So yeah. BB Rexa down bad. Kourtney Kardashian's pregnant. Like
BB Rexa.
Great. Yeah, not BB Rexa.
What? Yeah, there's nothing else going on.
I mean, I feel like that's good.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's enough. Moving on. All right, guys. So as we said before, topic for today is how to break up. We were going to talk about this topic last week because obviously last week we announced that I am single again, that me and my boyfriend or now ex-boyfriend broke up. And we already did an episode on dealing with a breakup. So now we're going to talk a little bit about how to actually break up. This is like if you obviously already decided that you need to break up with your significant other for whatever reason. Do they suck? Are you moving to different places? I don't know, fucking any reason that you decided that you would need to break up.
Obviously, it always sucks to get broken up with, but it can be really hard to break up with someone sometimes.
Yeah, well, actually, we're going to touch on our personal experiences anyway, so I'll just like dive in.
Yeah.
So, personal experiences with breaking up with someone. So we made so many jokes last week on the episode about how I've never broken up with someone, which actually, what's funny is I thought about it after the episode. Technically, I did break up with someone before. Remember when me and NYU Big Dick dated for literally 1 month?
Oh, yes.
We did it for 1 month, and then I broke up with him because I had like a panic. But then we got back together 1 month later, and then we dated for like a long time after that. So I was like, technically I did. But it wasn't like, we weren't really like dating when I broke up with him. So it wasn't like
breaking up with him for anything to do with him.
Yeah.
It was everything to do with you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was just like a whole thing. But, so I haven't like truly broken up with someone. And so we were making jokes last week saying that I finally broke my streak of getting dumped. That I finally broke up with someone. And because me and the guy that I was just dating, I broke up with him. And like you were just saying, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to feel any better or worse. And honestly, like, I think my decision in breaking up with him and my reasoning behind it, like, I think I did the right thing. But I felt like fucking shit. And it's just like, because like, I mean, obviously it depends on the person and everything. But regardless, like, having to do that to someone is just like a shitty feeling. However, you can't justify, like, you can't just not break up with someone because you don't want to feel like the asshole that breaks up with them,
reasons too to like feel like shit. I feel like in this scenario you felt like shit because like you just felt bad and like you knew it would like affect him and like whatever. And I feel like sometimes people feel really bad because they are so in love with that person or like their love is so deep, but they can't be together for like practical reasons, like they're moving or like whatever. So there's like different reasons you can feel like shit after, but you really do, like, as the person, because you're just like, this was my call and they're hurting and now like I feel responsible for that and you're also hurting. But then there's another layer where you like feel like you can't complain or feel bad about it because you're the one that made the decision. And it's like the person who got broken up with is like the one that usually gets to be like crying,
to be upset, whatever. But either way, it's equally really fucking difficult. Because like you don't want to hurt that person unless that person, obviously it's different of like, say this fucking person that you're breaking up with has been like serial cheating on you and you finally had enough and you're
that's different.
But regardless, you just feel kind of crappy after. So I mean, my personal experience with breaking up with someone was that it was hard as fuck, but I feel like it was like all of a sudden a light bulb went off one day and I was like, I just gotta do it. Like, and it's like, if it's going to be obviously for the better of you, like, you can't stay with someone just so they're happy. If you feel like you need to break up for your happiness, then you got to do what you got to do. And
have you heard the song It's Time to Go by Taylor Swift?
I don't think so.
It's literally like talking about the moment where you have to break up with someone and like how it sucks, but I think the line's something like it's like the right strong thing to do because like what are you gonna do to stay in a relationship that you're like
exactly
miserable?
Like you're not gonna stay in a relationship just to keep the other person happy. Like there's that line that you have to be selfless in order no, you have to be selfish in order to be selfless. You're
also wasting their time. Like if he had stayed another month or two, like you're just wasting his time when he could be like healing and
exactly on. So I'm feeling much better this week about the breakup. I mean, still kind of,
you're more adjusting to being alone.
Exactly. It's more like, okay, we broke up, whatever, kind of over that now. Now I'm just like, oh my God, I have so much free time.
Yeah, I know. It's
I don't know what to do.
Like, that was really like when me and Workbay weren't together for a few weeks in January, February, that was really like the main thing. I was like, what? And like you guys were all in relationships at the time too. So I was just like, what do I do with all this time? Like, what the fuck?
Exactly. And it sucks. That too. It sucks when all your friends are in relationships too. Cause then you're like, fuck. You know?
I know, it's weird.
But anyways, you obviously, do you want to talk about your breaking up with story?
Yeah. Well, it was kind of funny because so me and my ex, we moved in together in August, and by November he had voiced to me that like he regretted moving in together. So I kind of knew that I was dating someone that didn't really totally want to be with me. Yeah. And I always had this deeply rooted fear in our relationship that he was going to leave me, and I always just felt like a lot of our relationship was me just being scared that he was going to like leave me because he always made me feel like he was going to leave me and like always complained about me. I don't know. I just definitely was not his person, and he made that kind of clear. And then it was ironic that I ended up breaking up with him because he just made me feel for so long that like I know that we like kind of wanted different things, and that like it was just ironic that I was ready to move in with him even though he was 6 years older than me and he wasn't ready. Like there was just so many like weird like things like that. And then eventually you know, a few months, like I think I officially broke up with him in like kind of early March. But like, yeah, from like November to March, it was kind of just this battle where I was like, I don't know. I was like, I'm happy with you, but you're not happy with me, which is making me not happy with you because like you're making me feel like shit. It was really weird. And then eventually I just got like so fed up. And one night he just like let me down again. It was Iman's birthday. That's like the night I like officially broke up with him.
Yeah. There's usually like
a catalyst.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Like you already know that you're going to kind of do it, but then there's that one thing. For me, it was my birthday, obviously. You know. So,
100%.
Yeah.
I knew that our lease was up in July, and my kind of guessing was like maybe like the month leading up to that, we're going to have some conversations and maybe just go our separate, like the breakup will be us moving out. Like, because who wants, like, we signed a lease together. It's not like it was one person's apartment. It was our apartment. So we could not move out. We could not break the lease. So I was like, there's no way we're going to break up and live together. But that's exactly what happened. So I broke up with him in early March. And it was so funny because, like, he was just acting so shocked and, like, literally was in denial, as we know. Like, he told our friends that we were, like, still together. And I was like, I'm not sure if I need to like say the words yet. Like, we are not together. Yeah. Like, it was a very strange, but he acted so like shocked. And I guess like your ex didn't act like shocked, but he kind of acted like a little. Yeah.
He like knew that I was acting off for like a week. I don't think he knew that I was gonna just like.
But like you had been asking him to get an apartment for like.
Yeah, and I think it was kind of like this unspoken thing too, of kind of similar to what you said, where like it was like an unspoken thing that if we ever were to break up, it would be him breaking up with me.
Yeah. Yes, that's same with my ex. That's what I was like just trying to say.
And then, exactly. Yeah. And it was not.
And then they're so shocked.
Yeah. Which honestly, also, this happened with NYU Big Dick. I feel like when I was with him, it was like, oh, if one of us was ever going to break up with the other, it'd be me breaking up with him.
He acted and so head over heels.
Yeah, and then he ended up breaking up with me, and it was like, what?
That is probably why it hurt you so badly.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it did. I do know for a fact, and I can just kind of tell that it hurt my ex really badly because I think
you don't see it coming.
Yeah, and I think like men, it's so funny. I find this happening in my healthy relationship even now. I swear to God, as a woman, you can say something and fucking mean it, and men are just like, goes over their head. They're like, you say you're gonna leave, but you're not gonna fucking do it. Or you say you're gonna get mad if I do this, but you won't.
That's
really.
Literally some of what I told you guys. Me and my ex had this like conversation before we broke up, and a lot of it was like I don't want to like give away anything because I don't want to talk about it, and I don't want to talk bad about him at all. But a lot of it I kind of told you
was repeating yourself.
Yeah. Was me like saying something in him kind of being like, I didn't take you seriously because you would change what you meant. Like you would like tell me to like move out here, and then you would tell me this, and then you would tell me that, which I was like, I guess, but like whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyways, continue.
No, it was just very strange for me to feel like I was in a relationship that like he didn't really want to be in, and then when I finally do break up with him, and I was so mentally checked out of the relationship. I remember I like for Christmas went to see his family, and I kind of in my head, I literally told all my friends this. I was like, depending on how this trip goes, I'll be able to tell you if like our relationship is gonna stand.
I remember this.
The trip was amazing, but not me and him. I had a great time with his family. I had an amazing time with his family, an amazing time with his friends. They lived abroad, so it was like really cool to go and everything. But me and him, like, we were not.
Yeah.
I don't even think we like really hung out. Like I was like avoiding him, and I just knew I was like, there's a disconnect here. And, I actually had some like conversations with his mom and his sister that were like kind of interesting, and kind of vented to them, being like, I'm at my wit's end, like I don't know what to do, like whatever. And they honestly were like, gave me really good advice that kind of made me be like, you know what, I can't be in this relationship anymore.
Yeah.
And then I got back in January and our lease was up in July. So I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm going to try to stick it out. And then February came around, and that was when I had I launched, like I collaborated with this brand and I made an outfit with them, and, we had a photo shoot for it. And then like I had like a pop-up like event that all my friends came to at Artisan Fleas.
Yep.
He didn't come because he was hungover. Like there was just like a few things that happened where I was like, fuck that.
Things that were like important to you,
so
but
important,
clearly weren't as important to him.
And I'm like, even if we're kind of going downhill and we might know that like this isn't gonna work once we move out, like at least act like a friend to me and like show up for me and like whatever. It was just like annoying. Like it was just a few more things happened. And then finally the weekend of Iman's birthday, I got home from a night out and just like flipped out on him and was like, we're fucking done. And it didn't, this is literally like being a woman. It's like you can say something to a man and they're still not.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm done. And then like he would go to my friends 2 weeks later and be like, oh, we're not really done. Like we're going to, and I'm like, I literally told you we are done. Like I know we live together and like that's a whole delicacy, but like we're done. It was bizarre. He like could not accept like for like until like almost a month after that we were done. It was so strange, but yeah, it was very difficult to like break up with him because it was like 10 conversations of me being like, I'm sorry, like I don't know what to tell you, but like we're just done. Like men can't always like accept it. I feel like they're like, no way is this happening to me. But
that happens with a lot of people. They're just like super in denial. I think I might have told you that I had a friend that like broke up with her boyfriend, and we ended up finding out like almost a year later that that he was not telling his friends that they broke up until like almost like 6-7 months after they broke up did he finally start telling his friends that they were broken up. But he was just didn't bother to mention it. Like that's a big thing. They also dated for a very long time, so it's not like some like random like but I mean it happens with everybody, men and women. There are some women that just like can't accept it either. I get having like a week or two of denial and like whatever, but like I don't know, it was like a strange thing where I was like I don't know what else to say other than like we're done. And then I moved on very quickly because I had been mentally checked out. Classic woman move. Like this is such a thing. I feel like this really just happens to women. Like I haven't seen that many guys like this happen to, but I feel like if a woman moves on quickly after the breakup, it's because she was already so mentally drained and checked out for like a month or two prior to the breakup. I feel like when men do it, it's because they like want like an immediate rebound to feel like a boost of serotonin. Okay, sorry, that might sound like a little fucked up, but like I feel like it is. Like I don't know.
Obviously, like there's probably some cases, of course, but like a lot of the time, if a guy moves on right after a breakup,
it's like a rebound
he never
situation.
cared about her in the first place. Yeah, or like you know what I mean. But like I moved on really quickly, and I broke up with him for like fundamental differences. Like he just was not my person anymore. Like great person, but just not like for me. And he also like did this one thing the whole time we dated that like got fucking old. Like you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, he just like had this behavioral thing that I just could not fucking deal with anymore. And I'm sure he probably says the same thing about maybe things I did. But what's funny is because I moved on so quickly from that relationship, we like had a lot of conversations and we ended on a good note when we moved out, but then I never like saw him again or like talked about the breakup. So I don't really even know how he looks back on it. If he's like, it was a mutual decision or like, I don't really know what he tells his friends and I don't really care.
You know what? It's one of those things like
I'm at peace with it.
Yeah. When you get out of a relationship, despite if, you're the one to break up or not, especially if you are the one to break up with them, you need to prepare to accept that they are probably doing a little bit of a smear campaign.
Yeah.
Like, not like some people more than others, but they're probably painting themselves as the victim.
Yeah.
And like, it doesn't matter who broke up with who.
Yeah.
If it was mutual, if anybody did anything wrong or nobody did anything, it's probably you just gotta accept that you're probably not gonna be painted in the best light in the other person's eyes.
Luckily, I will say his friends are still really nice to me and all that, but shortly after we did break up and I did move on really quickly, which I completely understand how that would like hurt him. And
yeah, of course.
Especially because we still had to see each other with like the apartment and everything. But like also like I have the right to like live my life and like be happy on my own terms. So it was like it was a really strange time because I was trying to like be happy with like these new people in Work Bay, and I felt like really held back by like worrying about how it made him feel. But I was at the same time I was like, fuck that. Course, like I broke up with you for a reason. Oh my God. But I know that like that was probably like the time where he, you know, the smear campaign. He probably was telling his friends like she's already fucking someone.
A smear campaign is like when like you dated like a narcissist and then like they're like spreading your name. But like you get the point. Like you know they're not painting you in the greatest light.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is there anything else you want to say about your breakup?
That's it.
That's all. Well, no, I was going to say, because this is a great transition into, you know, kind of like the things that we wrote down about, you know, how to break up with somebody. And the first thing on the list is accept that it probably is not going to be as graceful as you were hoping for. Like, and so that ties kind of right into this because, like, odds are, yes, you could have a good breakup, like, but a lot of the time someone's gonna feel hurt.
People.
Yeah, even the most mature people.
I'm
like
laughing because it's so true.
Yeah, like it's just not. You just need to be prepared. Like, you know, it's not gonna be rainbows and sunshine. Like I knew literally, you know, 3 weeks ago or whatever it was now when I broke up with my boyfriend. I knew that it was not going to be the smoothest. Which also. The next thing is think about the type of person that your partner is.
And how to
exactly.
approach it in a way that would suit them.
Yeah, so is it somebody who you think is going to handle it well? Is it someone that you know has like mood swings, is going to like change up on you? And then like you said, from there, you could kind of plan your course of action. And, you know, sometimes if it's a person that you know just isn't going to handle it right, you just kind of have to like do it. Because like there's no, I don't think... this is something that I've been like dealing with a lot actually mentally, because when me and my boyfriend or ex-boyfriend, whatever, when we broke up, he was telling me that I should have handled the breakup better. Like there were ways that I could have handled it better, in which, yes, some parts of what he was saying, I 100% get what he's saying, because I don't know if I said this last week, but like I kicked him out of my apartment on like 12 hours notice, which is kind of like a dick move.
Okay. But did you really? Because you for 2 months. Sorry. The immediate apology.
Lily?
Me getting just beep out like that whole part. No,
Lily's doing her own smear campaign.
No, leaving the okay, but did you really? And then beep.
No, but
that was funny.
I like lost my train of thought for a second.
I got so mad.
What I was gonna say though, I was like, yes, there were definitely some parts of the breakup that maybe I could have handled better.
I don't agree with that.
Also,
Christina's perfect.
Right, exactly. But no, but the one thing I have been thinking of is like, is there really a right or wrong way to break up? I will say, like, I don't think there's necessarily a right or wrong way to break up. I think there are things that you could do to make it less shitty. Like, for example, one of the things we have written down on here, actually, it's the next thing we have written down on here, which I'll just say quickly and then we'll backtrack a bit, is always do it in person. Don't break up, like, through text.
Always.
On the phone call if you absolutely need to. Like, you know, if you're long distance or something and it has to be on a phone call. But always try to do it in person. You know, there's, like, things like that. But, like, I don't know. I think a lot of like where I went wrong when I was breaking up with him, and where I like literally like kicked him out on like 12-hour notice and stuff, is because I just like panicked. I like didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I literally did not know what to do. And I was like, oh my God, I just broke up with him and he's in my home. I don't think I want him in my home now because I just broke up with him. Oh my God, this is so awkward. You have to be out, like, blah, like, you know, just spiraled a little bit. But anyways, back to the point. Think about the type of person that you're dealing with, and that, you know, will kind of, not that it will change the way in which you break up with them, but more so it'll mentally prepare
yourself
for it, because, you know, like we said, it's probably not going to be as graceful as you're hoping for, but
even
at least you can mentally prep.
No, 100%. And even if you're breaking up with them because they are an like, let's say this guy is just like cheated on you, or just like is a narcissist, a horrible person, like whatever, honestly, even if you want to yell all those things to him and like, you know, be like, I'm breaking up with you because you're a piece of shit, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Honestly, get in and out. Get in there and maybe even lie. Be like, you're so wonderful, but it's just not working for me. Like, yeah. I think sometimes that is a good way to go because then they don't really have a bad thing to say about you. And they won't put up like a fucking crazy. I mean, they might still put up a fight, but not as intense as they would if you like came at them. Like just almost like lie and bullshit and just get in and out of there as quickly as you can.
Well, that's basically the next point. After, you know, don't break up on the phone or through text. Like, don't be a fucking coward, all right? Always do it in person. But what you're saying, figure out what you want to say, what you want to explain, and also figure out what is not worth sharing. Exactly what you just said.
Don't get petty with it.
Like, like I told you, like, you know, there were like so many things when I was breaking up my ex, like kind of things that like I wanted to just bring up.
Yeah, that's what I was referencing.
Yeah, literally. Exactly. Like there were like a lot of things that like I would have really loved to bring up.
I literally said to you, I was like, did you say this, this, and this? And you were like, no. Because what is the point?
It would not have helped in the slightest. Yeah. Like it would have done nothing but create more hurt. It would have, you know, just given us reason to like go back and forth at each other. It just like was not worth it. So like you really need to figure out what you want to say and points that you want to get across, but also make sure to realize what to save your breath on. There are some things that just aren't worth it, and some things that like, as much as maybe if it's a situation where you're breaking up with a person because they're being a bad boyfriend, maybe there's like a lot of things that like you want to say, but you just know this is not a person to reason with. Just save your breath. It's honestly such an ego thing. Like for you, like for me, like if I were to like go and just start like fireballing at like one of my exes, like all the things that they did wrong, whatever, that comes from your ego, and it takes a lot of fucking self-discipline to push your ego down and set it aside for a sec and just, you know, not get that last word in. You do not need the last word. You really do not need to get that last word in. Save your breath. You're going to feel a whole lot better. And if you still give a fuck about this person that you're breaking up with, then at least they're not going to go off and, you know, losing their fucking mind.
That's so true. I actually even think if you're not breaking up with someone and you're in a healthy relationship, I have a thing where sometimes actually we both do it. We'll be having a conversation. Like I'll bring up something to him and be like, hey, it really hurt my feelings when you did this. And sometimes we're both like stubborn and immature. He'll be like, well, I didn't like when you do this, and like I'll do the same thing, but it's like,
and you keep going in circles.
It's like it's an ego thing because it's like I want to feel better because you also did something bad, but it's like, why can't we let's just talk about what we're talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Like, which that was like when me and my ex broke up and like he came to get his stuff and we talked for an hour. There was a point like it started good, and then there was a point where it was a lot of like, oh well, you did this or you did this or you didn't do this, whatever, blah blah blah, and then I had to like really take a second and like reel it in and be like, okay, because realistically you're already broken up. What is that conversation? No, exactly. Like what is that providing you with?
Especially if you're like breaking up, like okay, well there's nothing productive about this conversation. Just maybe grab your stuff and go.
If you planned on like maybe working it out and staying together, then you could fucking be like, this hurt my feelings when you did this and that and blah 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 and the next thing. But if you're already broken up and you know it's like kind of said and done, then it's not. It's
and
not
if you're craving closure, then I feel like you can like have a final conversation where you bring up a few of the things that they did, but not in a way where you're just like stating what they did like as an attack. Just be like, you did these things. I kind of want to understand why, because I want to end on a good note. Like I understand having that final conversation and whatever, but it shouldn't be just to bring it up, just to bring it up. Like you should be bringing it up to have a conversation.
Exactly. About it. Two things. One, if you are gonna bring it up like that, I think if you want to bring it up to get like your, you know, mental peace, then, you know, mentally prepare yourself to be like, they're gonna have backlash.
Yeah.
Say it because you want to say it and just get it out, but you have to remind yourself that they're probably not gonna respond well to it. And then the other thing, which you just said, like, you know, I'm kind of tying this in, is make it about you and not them. It's easier if you're gonna bring up those things. Using I statements instead of you statements. Like you don't want to feel like you're attacking the other person. Be like, you did this and you did that. Be like, I feel that, you know, I wasn't getting treated as well as I should have been, or I feel like, you know, blah 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 blah. Like turn it into an I statement, even if even if you use a you after, by being like, I feel like this. I feel like you blah 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 blah. You know, make it about yourself rather than being like, you did this and you did that, or you didn't do this.
If you're breaking up with a guy or a girl, whatever, because of the way that they treated you, like let's say they just never really were romantic with you. They never planned dates, or they just kind of were like not acting like a fucking partner. I feel like a good way to put that is like, I have certain love languages that like maybe you don't have, and like my needs in a relationship are very different than yours. And I don't know, you should be able to say to them like, you know, I just don't feel like you treated me right, but say it in a way that's more like it didn't meet my standards. Like, you know, maybe that would work with somebody else, but like I need romance or I need like whatever.
Exactly. Then listen to them, be gentle with how they feel. Obviously, like, be open to them just saying a bunch of things. You're breaking up with them. They are in a very vulnerable state right now. Yeah. So make sure to listen and, you know, hear them out, even if like everything is said and done, because, you know, there's the people that will just like accept it. And then there's the people that'll, you know, fight back and be like, well, what if we do this and that and blah, blah, blah. If you're like, there's nothing like, you know, this is like it, just at least listen to them, you know? And then after that, like I just said, you know, tying it into what I just said, don't leave it open-ended. Make sure they know it's over.
Yeah, don't even say like, you know, who knows what'll happen in the future.
Yeah, do not do that. Yeah. Oh my God. That like fucked me over. And like
my ex kept saying that in our breakup, and I was like, it was so awkward because I was like,
you're like, no.
I don't think we're gonna work out.
Yeah, like I remember one of my exes said that to me, and like I held on to that hope, especially if you know, well, I wouldn't even say that in general, just for the chance that you guys don't end up together, even if you're like, maybe we will in the future. Don't say that, because that's like really shitty to give a person false hope. Yeah, you know, regardless of the situation.
It's also just be honest. Like if you don't want to be with them, you don't want to be with them. You don't have to say things like that to comfort people. Yeah, you can be like, I'll always like be here for you. I don't know. If you ever it depends on the situation. Like, yeah, but it's like there's other things you can say that are really equally as comforting.
Yeah, exactly. And then the last little bullet note we have is that you'll feel shitty after, but obviously give yourself time and also give them time. Don't reach out. That's why I think we did a whole episode on the no contact rule. Yeah, like we're not going to talk for a while. Like you need to give them space to heal. Like if my exes were like hitting me up when we broke up every like week or two, being like, hey, how are you doing? How are you handling breakup? Like I just, no, like I'm a big believer, we know this in the no contact rule, and I think you need that space. Not just, the no contact rule is not about even just getting over an ex. It's about like you know, kind of getting over things and finding yourself outside of them. So yeah, you shouldn't be hitting them up. So give them time to heal.
Especially if you're breaking up with them, you can be like, look, I'm not going to reach out to you. I don't think you should reach out to me either for a while. But if in a few months, like if it really is calling to you, like I'm never going to like block you, or like, if it's like a very civil breakup, you can say this. Like you can just say nice things like that make them, because sometimes if you're breaking up with someone, especially if they don't really see it coming, or if you know that they don't feel the same way and they really care about you, sometimes the trauma of feeling like someone just got ripped away from you very abruptly is hard for people. So saying things like, look, let's take a few months to ourselves, but like, you know, I'm always a call away if you need a friend, or like, please, like, you know, let me know if you end up getting the job, or like whatever, like just things like that. Like if it's a civil friendly breakup, but otherwise, like for their sake, let them go, you know? Yeah,
exactly. I mean, that's like all we have. Kind of. I feel like that's like pretty much. Yeah, I feel like that's like pretty much it. Like once again, there's no foolproof way to end a relationship. There's no like, you know, the secret to a civil breakup. Like it's either going to be like, quote unquote, I mean, no breakup is good, but you know, it's either going to be civil or it's going to be a little bit ugly or something in between. It's not really something that you can necessarily, you can't, if you're the one that's breaking up with them, which in this case you are, it's not, you know, you can't really control how they're going to react. You could predict how they're going to react, and with that, mentally prepare yourself for it. But like, you know,
I feel like if you are feeling doubts in your relationship, I found a lot with my friends. Like I have a friend that will bring this up to me and be like, I think I might want to break up with my partner, but like, let's say you've been dating them for a long time, or like your families are intertwined, or your friends are intertwined, and you almost feel like stuck in the relationship. I feel like if you're having thoughts of breaking up with someone, like you probably should break up with them, because like I just know for a fact, like in my relationship, even when we're going through it, I never really think I'm gonna break up with
yeah
him.
it's always like never, oh like we'll be able to work through
we'll get through this. Yeah, that's always like my mindset. So I feel like if you are having doubts,
which is
like,
a good mindset.
No, 100%. But if they're not your person, you do have that voice in your head. I had that voice in my head my entire last relationship, which I do not have in this relationship. That's how I know it's like a very different experience. But like, listen to that voice and don't ever feel like stuck, or like, I know sometimes it can feel like, oh, I'm gonna lose this whole friend group. And I know in the moment, yeah, you are gonna lose a lot of people, or like whatever it is, or you're gonna lose this beautiful house you guys share together, or like what the fuck ever. But you still will feel better on the other end of things.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
I had that with boy band when we were like breaking up. I was like, oh my God, like I'm about to lose like all these people that I know out in LA.
Part of my life.
And then like as time went by, you start to realize you start a new life, you meet new people. And then I just started to realize, I was like, well, those people weren't even like really my real friends anyways.
Yes. If they are your real friends, if they are like,
if they're your real friends, they'll stick by your side.
Right. 100%.
Like, you know?
And it just, I don't know. I feel like the best thing you can do for someone sometimes is break up with them if you're not totally, it might suck for them in the moment, but like, who wants to be with someone who's having thoughts about breaking up with them? Like that sucks more. Yeah. Like you should be with someone who you're never really having those doubts. But I do find that like, I've had friends that get stuck in relationships and like don't want to leave for the wrong reasons. And it's like, you should never feel that way. Like no matter what type of life you share together, like if you have good friends around you, they will help you through it. You will get out of it. And I just think some relationships need to fucking end.
Yeah. No,
like,
simply.
Truly. Have you ever met a couple where you're like, they've been dating for 6 years and you're like, oh my God, this is the worst couple
I could literally
I've
name
ever
a few.
met. Yeah. It's like, dude, like I get it. Like you're 6 years deep. People break up after being married for 20 years.
Yeah.
Like you'll be okay.
People like, you know, they get that, like, this is like, obviously if you already decided you need to break up, but like, you know, off topic with, you know, deciding if you need to break up or whatever. There are kind of like you were saying, like there's people that like they're dating for 5-6 years and they're like, oh my God, like that amount of time down the drain.
Yeah. It's not down the drain.
You can't think about it like that though.
Don't think about it like that.
If you've been dating for 5 years, you can't think of it as like, oh my God, 5 years down the drain. You got to start thinking as, am I going to stay with this person for another year and then they're 6 years down the drain?
Yeah,
like, you know, do you want to continue living this way that you've been? Like,
also, I mean, I kind of felt like that because my last relationship was like a little over 3 years. And I had that thought where I was like, wow, 3 years of my life, 3 years of traveling and memories and friends and blah, blah, blah. And like commitments. And I felt that way, but I was like, also 3 years of learning so much about myself, so much about being in a serious relationship, so much about the type of partner I want. And I kind of looked at it like, wow, 3 years of an amazing learning experience. Luckily, I wasn't dating an awful person. I was dating a wonderful person who I had a wonderful 3 years with that I don't regret at all. I learned so much about myself. And I also learned what I do and don't want in a partner. And I knew coming out of it, it would feel that way at times, but I also knew that my next relationship would be so much better because I spent 3 years learning what I want. So I think it's just all about how your perspective on things. But that's such a common thing that people feel like stuck in relationships.
Yeah, I feel like it takes, you know, a little bit of maturing and growing up to kind of realize that. Yeah, and courage. Because
it really does.
Same exact thing. Like, I just like had a brain fart and now I forget what I was gonna say.
No, even your breakup now, like it takes balls to just like break up with someone and kind of start fresh and like be on your own again. Like even though you guys didn't date that long, it still takes balls. But I know that if you date for like 5+ years, like takes a lot of courage.
My life coach like told me obviously too. She was like, see what happens. She was like, every time like you get out of a relationship with someone, you know what you like and what you don't like, and then you find somebody better, and you just keep like, you know, going and going. And even if they end up not being better in the long run, they were for like 2 seconds, and maybe that's what you needed for 2 seconds. Like, you know, so you're never gonna, you know. Like I tell her, like I have like this like irrational fear of like dying alone, basically, like never actually finding a person. She's like, you're fucking insane. You're 24
insane,
and like
but
gorgeous.
That's fine.
But but you know, she always just tells me, she's like, you know, you say this after you get out of every relationship, and then you find another good guy. Yeah. Like, you know. So
and it's even if you find another good guy, like I think mentally tell yourself, be like, I guess you did kind of do this with your last, I think your other relationships you were very wrapped up in, they were very serious. This relationship you literally said, I don't know if he's my husband, but I'm gonna give it a try.
Just didn't know.
And that's a really really good like way to start a relationship, especially if you kind of like jump right into things. Just be like, I'm having so much fun with this person. I'm just going to be present and enjoy my time. And if it doesn't work out, I will be fine.
Yeah.
Like I've gotten through breakups before. I will be fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, toxic confession time. You know, oh my God, it keeps fucking me up. Sometimes at the beginning when we do toxic thing of the week, we call it toxic confession by like accident.
I'm sure we do.
Yeah, we do it. Like, we'll say like toxic thing of the week and then we'll be like, all right, time for toxic the week. Oh my God, time for toxic thing of the week. All right, so my toxic confession. I'm like, fuck.
Oopsies.
Anyways, all right. Cutesy little one. But this is, I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny just because you guys know that Lily and Work Bay have like broken up and gotten back together a million times. So
Thank you.
This girl's just like a little bit more like about it. So she goes, toxic confession. I was best friends with this girl in college who had this boyfriend that was just pretty awful. By the way, Work Bay is not awful. I absolutely love him. This is not I was just the breakup and getting back together.
He was awful.
For like 2 seconds. Yeah. But anyways, I was best friends with this girl in college who had a boyfriend that was just pretty awful. She was so smart and hardworking and achieved her goals, and he was just a slob with no motivation and really dragged her down.
Cute.
I know, right? She said for emphasis, he would get drunk at his frat parties, and then he would piss in her bed in his sleep. Jesus Christ.
Okay. I get the vibe. I get the vibe.
We get the vibe.
It's like I know him. It's like I've already met him.
Right. Okay. So she said they broke up and got back together and then broke up again. And I told her at the time, jokingly, that I wouldn't be friends with her anymore if they got back together. Fast forward a year to the next summer, he dropped out of college and they got back together and she hid it from me for months. She said, now we are no longer friends. And since then, they've broken up again. And I have a suspicion that they are back together for the 5th or 6th time now.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean,
it comes a point like
let's think about it in my terms. Like, let's say Work Bay was the absolute worst.
Yeah, no, obviously he's not who this guy is.
Yeah.
So
like, I almost couldn't even blame my friends because it's exhausting. Like,
yep.
It's exhausting. Even when I went through my breakup, like I started feeling so annoying because I was constantly like calling my friends and like needed a friend, and I was so annoying, and like I already felt annoying even though my friends were like, we don't care, we're here for you, obviously. But like, as a friend, when your friend's going through something that intense, like it does take a bit of a toll on you. So when it happens 10 times,
and there comes a point where you really need to protect your peace.
No,
like
100%.
And I always say this because yes, there have been friends of mine that have like gone through, breaking up, getting back together, whatever, or even if they just broke up just once, it just comes to a point, like, of course your friends, like, you want to be there for them when they're like going through a breakup and console and everything. But if they are just constantly bringing this negative energy and like say you're like, oh my God, girls night out, like we're gonna have a fun night tonight, and then you go out and they just will not stop talking about their ex, and obviously girls night out, you could have like a little shit talk sesh, but event sesh. But if they're like fucking crying over their ex every single time, and
especially if it's like weeks and months after it happens, like
exactly, or even a friend that has a shitty boyfriend, they didn't break up, and whenever you hang out, the only thing she has to say about her boyfriend are all these like negative ass things. It's like, oh my God, like,
no, 100%.
There comes a point, there's a fine line between like, your friends venting to you and you needing to like help them out and help them get through things, but then also they really need to help themselves at a point. Yeah. And there's a line. Yeah. There's a fine line.
Last night, like I kind of felt bad because I was on a double date last night with Work Bay and this couple that we just met. So it was kind of like I couldn't leave, and I also couldn't invite people because like I didn't really know these people. So I go on a double date with them, and then I get out and I saw that Christina texted me that she was like feeling a little down and wanted to hang out.
Come meet me at Midnight's in Brooklyn.
No, and I felt so bad because I saw it like even like an hour after she had texted me that. So I was like, fuck, like I'm still out. Like I don't think I can do that, whatever. And then I got home and I was talking to Ryan and I was like, I kind of feel bad. I think Christina was having a bad night. And she was like, she said it in such a nice way. She was like, that's so nice, Lily. But like also maybe it was good for Christina to get through that night by herself.
Yeah.
You know 100%. And it is, because then you get through it and you're like, okay, that wasn't that bad. Yeah. Like so true.
No, I literally, after I texted you that, I like sucked it up and then I like went on to like doing my nails and everything. And by the time you texted me back, I was like, fine.
Well, it's like when me and Work Bay broke up, Ryan
also,
was
I'm not
gone.
texting you though being like, I'm gonna fucking die.
Well,
like,
no.
I need you here right now. It was more so of a thing where I just text you and I was like, hey,
I'm a little lonely. Like,
yeah, I'm a little lonely. Like, what are you guys up to?
Yeah.
Like, whatever. But yeah, no, fucking protect your peace, man. Protect your peace.
Imagine you're like, I'm like not okay. I'm like, ooh, I'm like 2 episodes deep. Like I have ice cream. Yeah. Like I'm not really like feeling that.
Oh my God. You know what? Getter today, I had to order some stuff for delivery and they were doing 25% off all Van Leeuwen pints. And I got a pint of my favorite Van Leeuwen ice cream, which is the peanut butter brownie.
Ooh, have you tried honeycomb?
I have tried the peanut butter brownie honeycomb.
Oh my God, honeycomb is so good.
Yes, they have a peanut butter brownie honeycomb. I like the original one better without the honeycomb, but I do like honeycomb. So
yeah, so good.
Yeah.
On that note.
Anyways, all right, guys, thank you for listening to this week's episode. We promise we're going to try and get guests pretty soon. 2 episodes in a row. We're solo. Right?
I know, not bad though.
Or 3 episodes.
We'll probably have a guest next week. Well, I mean, Ryan wants to come on. She's ready.
Yeah. Ryan, guys, her roommate, she is a fucking rip, okay? She has, oh my God, she's like dated every man and like, you know, like gone on dates and everything with like every man you could ever imagine. Like every like genre of man ever.
She's done it.
She's done it.
Every bad experience you can have, she's had it.
Yeah, she is. If you guys remember, we talked about her in an episode like a long time ago because we brought up her story about how she like went on a quote unquote date with this guy and he basically told her like, I need to bring you home and like fuck you first to see if you're worthy of taking out to dinner.
Yeah.
That was Ryan.
That's
Ryan's story. So yeah, we'll have her on.
She's
I do want to know though, because I always get mixed things in the DMs of people being like, you know, oh my God, bring more guests on. I love guests. But then also people being like, I really love your solo episodes. So I don't know. I think it's kind of just like a cross.
I like guests. I like doing like 2 alone and 1 guest.
Yeah.
Like I like our solo episode. I like both though. Like I need guys. There's only so much I can say.
No, I know,
like
exactly.
I need another person here.
Yeah, but we were talking about possibly hitting up my gynecologist to come on the show. She's a queen.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, Molly McBride. We love you.
No. I'm like, so what does Christina's pussy look like? You're like, we're going to talk about women's health. I'm like, is it like really tight or like?
She's like talking like she's getting like really medical about it. And you're like, but is it what?
Yeah.
Is it a tight little what? Like,
all right, guys, thank you so much for.
Sorry, but Dr. McBride, does she have a gorilla grip? That's what we want to know. Okay, guys, I'm done. Joke's over.
Gotta go.
I had to make the gorilla grip joke. All right. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Jenna Toxic. Make sure to go follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I know. What is going on?
I'm choking on.
No, I have my drink. You do have your drink. Oh my God. Lily's dying.
I'm okay.
Great. Okay. Make sure to go follow us at Gen Toxic Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Make sure to DM us your toxic confessions. Just reminder, toxic confessions are always anonymous. If you DM it to us, we will not use your name or anything. And
we will judge you, but we will not share your identity.
Yeah, we will not share your identity. You might get a new asshole ripped, but like it's fine.
I've probably done it or worse.
Yeah, so exactly, it's or worse. But yeah, DM us toxic confessions. That's it. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
I love choking on air.